Welcome to another episode of Transform Perspective with Kyra. It is raining, so you're going to hear some drops in the background, but it's kind of serene, a little aesthetic. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Transform Perspective. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube where you can see this video. Spotify is where you can just see the audio, and also TikTok. There's some great content there. So definitely check it out. And let's get right into this episode. I was, of course, scrolling like I do sometimes, and I came across a message that I definitely needed to hear, and maybe that you need to hear. I don't know. But it was this TikToker. I forgot her name. It started with a B. But she was basically saying how you're worthy now. Like, it's not that you have to wait until you accomplish some big goals or wait until you're a certain size or in a certain place in your life or have certain things in order to be worthy of love, worthy of abundance, worthy of great things, worthy of whatever you could think of. You're worthy of that right now. It's not something that you have to work up to earn, or something that you're not worthy of because you're not there yet, kind of. And it got me thinking, like, oh my goodness, like that's very true. It resonated with me, but of course it's like something will resonate with you, and it'll still take time to process that, integrate that, and kind of like learn that, even though okay, that is my truth, but how do I live in that truth? And so that's kind of how it felt for me. But it was a message that I definitely needed to hear, that you're worthy right now. You may not be in the place that you want to be or the person that you want to be, but that doesn't mean that you're not worthy of those things that are on your heart, that are on your mind, that you want for yourself. You may want to be a millionaire, but just because you don't have $1 million right now doesn't mean you don't deserve that abundance. Maybe it's not just about the money. Maybe it's about having a business, or traveling, or having a great group of friends, or being healthy again, taking care of your mental, physical, spiritual well-being. Maybe it's, it could be a list of things, but you're worthy of those things now. And you may not be there where you think you should be right now, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve those things. And it sounds nice saying it, and I resonate with it and feel that it's true, but it does take some processing, integrating, and learning that can be your truth and that can be true for you. It's not a message for everybody, but it was very helpful and encouraging words, because you may find yourself getting caught up in this, I gotta suffer and work my behind off and, go through these extreme measures in order to be worthy of something. That could be of someone, of something, of love, of care, of forgiveness, whatever the case may be. That's available now. You don't have to try to reach or meet this certain expectation before you are worthy of that. And I think sometimes it can be difficult for that to even, make sense or be true for you, because it's just like, what? That's not really a world that we've lived in for many people, especially when you're looking at pretty much everything. When you're looking at maybe how you grew up, or school, or just life and different teachings, a lot of it is this mentality of you gotta suffer, you gotta work yourself to the bone, and you have to earn love, you have to earn this, you have to, and it's really like it's available for you now. I think that the mindset that it isn't is what holds you back, or keeps you stuck, or keep you in this headspace that it's not available, and that you have to earn it, that you have to work hard in order to be worthy for it, even though it's available. So it definitely starts with a mindset, but just hearing that and being reminded that, okay, I'm worthy of that now. It may not seem like it, you may not feel like it may be very foreign and unfamiliar to you to even say, okay, I'm worthy of it now, but it's true. I feel like it's definitely true for me, but it's also a learning process to remind yourself of that, and to see it in a new way, in a new perspective, and have this new mindset and shift from this old identity of, I have to I have to earn love. I have to earn these things. I'm not worthy of them now, but I'll be worthy of them in 5 years when this happens or I go there. And, shifting from that old mindset of lack and unworthiness until the future or further notice or into this new mindset of, okay, I'm worthy of that now. No, things don't look like this. No, I'm not this person yet, but I'm worthy of this now despite that. And it really ties into unconditional love, you being worthy to receive those things that are on your heart, that are on your mind right now. Like, it's for you, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done, no matter how you've gone about life mentally or your mindset, that can always shift and change. It's available. And so, yeah, I just thought like that was really kind and really sweet, the message was. And so I'm glad that I came across it because I feel like that was exactly what I needed in the moment, is to remember that. Like, you're worthy now. But I don't think I ever really thought about that. Of course, you say like going from a lack mindset to abundance mindset, and just knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you're capable, but to say that you're worthy of it right now, I think, I always say I think, but I do think. I think from personal experience, and maybe for you as well, we get caught up in that same mindset of striving to be great and striving to get these things, but it's always in the future. It's always down the road. It's always later on. It's always, I'll be ready when this happens, or it'll be good when I experience this, or it'll be great when this person's there, or it'll be good when I have this amount of money. But why not now? And of course, the logical mind is going to say, because I don't have this and this is not, and you can get logical with it, but you can also tune into your heart and just be in a place where you can just receive it in this moment. And I'm still learning how to do that and what that looks like, getting out of my head of the logical sense. Not that logic isn't needed, but also getting into the heart and not thinking so much about it. I always say, I think, but knowing it, feeling it, experiencing it in your heart on a deeper level. I think also learning, I think again, but when people are saying the mind, the heart, really figuring out what that means to you. What does it mean to drop into your heart? What does that mean to open your heart? What does that mean to get out of your mind? Because we have all these terminologies of listen to your heart, listen to your soul, or, all this terminology, and it doesn't really make sense if you're looking at it from like a literal sense. But you learn what that looks for you and what that feels like. And so knowing that you're worthy now is definitely, I think, something that you're sure of once you get out of your head so much. Because yes, there's steps to things and there's logic to it, but on another level, none of that is necessary. None of that is needed. And all there is here and now. So it just depends on your perspective and how you're looking at it, but also you can step out of the perspective of things and just be here and feel into it and receive it. Receive that you're worthy now, because if you're always chasing some future moment, some future accomplished, some future time where you'll be worthy, then you're really suffering and hurting yourself and really living in hell mentally. And you can create that in your life unconsciously when you're constantly just like waiting for a future moment to be enough. When whatever that thing is or whatever the situation is, you can be worthy of it now. You may not have it now, but it doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. And I think that's where things can get mixed up, where you feel like, oh, well, it's not here, or where I don't have it. Okay, you may not, but that doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. It's not that you don't have it or you're not experiencing it because you're not worthy of it. You're always worthy of it. You're worthy of it now. And I think, like I said, when you really process that and integrate that, it'll show up in your life. It'll show up in your reality, whatever the case may be. I feel like a good example could be with money. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people strive for money and abundance and success in that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be rich and have a lot of money and whatever the case may be. But I think sometimes we can get tripped up in, oh, in some future moment when I have a lot of money or when I work really hard, then, I'll be the woman or then I'll be the man. It's just like, you are the man, you are the woman now, with or without that money. And that's the difference. It's not that, oh, well, I don't have the money sitting in my lap right now, so how can I be worthy of it? No. You may not have it, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve it. That doesn't mean that you aren't worthy of it. Same could go for respect or acknowledgement of how far you come, of the things that you've done. You don't have to wait for someone else to recognize that within you, or wait to love yourself until you do these certain things or these certain steps or accomplish these certain things. Like, you're worthy of that now, of other people giving that to you and you giving that to yourself. So it's really a big like wake up call and realization to see that I'm worthy now. And then it's like, oh, well, why am I worthy? Because you are. If you tell yourself that you're not, even if you may not be saying, oh, I'm not worthy, but subconsciously, like, in the back of your head, subtly, this could be a limiting belief that you're not worthy until ... or I'm not good enough until ... or I don't deserve this because ... That's mentally, your mindset of what you're telling yourself. But that can always change. It definitely starts mentally. I always say that. It starts with perspective. It starts with how you view your world and the world and yourself, because that is your reality. It's from your perception, from your lens, but it starts within and then it's projected without. So definitely the mindset. It doesn't have to be that way, but if that's what you tell yourself, you may not be aware of it. But if that's what you're saying to yourself, then you're going to block yourself from your blessings and block yourself from receiving in many ways. Of course, on a whole nother level, I feel like you can do that to a certain extent, but I feel like whatever is meant for you is for you, so you can't necessarily block it, but you can probably delay it and things like that, but I'm not going to get into all of that. Long story short, you're worthy now. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but you're deserving, and there doesn't have to be an explanation of why. A lot of times you can get in the way of fully receiving that knowing when you want to know, okay, well, why? Or you're looking back at your past self or the past things, or looking at the future of what you lack or what you haven't accomplished or reached yet, and forget that there's a now, right here, right now. And when you're looking at the past and when you're looking at the future, guess what? That's all mind activity. That's all mental. That's all, in the mind, in the head. Nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes detrimental to yourself and to your life, then it's like, okay, well, maybe we can reassess that. Reassess my beliefs, or, look at it. But yeah, definitely worthy now. You don't have to be totally fixed, totally healed in order to now receive your reward. You work so hard, but you hurt yourself the entire way. Here you go. Like, here's your gift now. You're tired and worn out and stressed, but you made it to the end. Here's your reward. It doesn't have to work like that. It doesn't have to work like that. It can be overwhelming and take a toll on your body when that's the mindset. When that's the mindset, it's just, there's no winning. There's no winning. You think that you're gonna win in the future, but what about now? What about now? You don't have to wait until you fully healed all your wounds and just fix yourself up in order to be enough, in order to be worthy, in order to deserve. And when you're looking at healing and the healing journey, like, I'm all for that. But as I go, through life and each day, that looks different for me, and it probably looks different for you when we're looking at healing, because it can also be a way of avoidance. Like I said in the past, trying to heal, trying to fix yourself. You see a wound and you're trying to make it go away, when it doesn't have to be that way either. Sometimes we get caught up in that cycle of, oh, I need to be healed, I need to be perfect, everything needs to be good and gone. That's not truly healing. It doesn't have to be forced. it can flow and just happen. And it doesn't have to do with you not being worthy or you not being deserving or you being broken. And sometimes that can be the idea or the perspective coming from the mental. That's why I say when you drop into your heart, a lot of that logic and all of that it goes away for a moment. Of course, you need both, but to align your mind, your heart, and everything as one and with balances, it'll allow things to flow and allow you to receive, and that'll be your knowing. You won't have to remind yourself of it. It'll just be who you are and what you know. And so that's what I mean by embodying and being your true self. It's not that you're trying to live up to this true self or trying to reach this true self. It's that you are your true self, your authentic self. Like you exist, like you are. It's what you are. But you can lose sight of that and get caught up in your mind and not be living as your true authentic self, not be living as who you are and your highest potential. So to remember that and embody it is, embodying your true self. But it's not something that's outside of yourself or something that you have to work for or earn. It's like it's you and you're worthy of it. So yeah, a great message, something to remember, something to reflect on. Just wanted to share that. I feel like sometimes talking about these things can be so helpful, but then also really heavy at times, it can be a lot. And so it's taking what resonates, taking what works for you, taking those reminders in, whether that be from the internet, whether that be from friends or family, or whether those reminders pop up in your head, and just remembering that there's only here and now and accepting where you are. That's all I have for this episode, but just a reminder that you are definitely worthy now. You may not feel it, you may not think it, but it's true, and it can be your truth. It definitely can. It just takes a matter of a change in perspective, a change in mindset, and reminding yourself of it. It's like, okay, well, how do I know that? How do I really know that and integrate it and feel that for sure? Is you remind yourself of it and you let that be your new way of thinking. You let that replace that old way of showing up, thinking, and being. It's, if you can think that negative thing and have that negative belief, you can also have a positive one. And you can recognize both. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Transform Perspective. Don't forget that there is a free 15-minute guided meditation in the description below of Spotify and for YouTube. So definitely click that link and you'll get your free 15-minute guided meditation for deep relaxation and unwinding. And let me know what you think about it. It could be you're new to meditation, you want to try it, or maybe meditate all the time. I don't know. It's for anybody, but check it out. Let me know what you think. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, follow on Spotify, share with anyone who you think this will be helpful for, a great reminder. And yeah, have an amazing day and have a transformed perspective. And I forgot to say, remember, it is not about perfection, but committing to expansion. Perfect for the topic of this episode. Have a transformed perspective.